and I'm gonna say it's probably controversial, and it's okay. My dream guest would be Beyonce. For one, that she is from Houston, and for two, because I know her son is on the autism spectrum, although it's not publicly known. I know that from being in the community. I know that when I first seen the boy, I recognized that because I have that. And so if you're around that, you know what it is. And I think that would be my dream
I'm
guest.
bringing people.
Because I think that.
How's everybody doing? I'm black.
A name like that would definitely bring a lot of notoriety to the autism community, and that's what it needs. And since we're in a room full of blacks, I'm gonna say this. 1 in 3 of our black boys have been diagnosed with autism, and it is at an alarming rate. A lot of black mothers are shamed because of it, and they don't need to be shamed. They need to be pulled out of the shame and get their child the help they need so that child can be successful. And I raised a successful young man who also walked in my footsteps and ended up being a mail carrier, the best mail carrier at his postal station, and making $60,000 a year and diagnosed with autism at 3. And so I showed the success of that. And I think in our community, it really needs to be talked about more. And our black boys are being diagnosed at a very, very, very alarming rate.
And we are gonna go this way, but if anybody needs to like leave and you want me to like go to you next, just kind of wave at me and I'll pop over to you so that way you can kind of get your intro out and go, because it's a lot of sessions, so I don't want to. I'll think. Next.
Sorry, it's okay. I jumped in. Hello, guys. My name is Sambaza. I'm from the Sambaza podcast. I'm host of the Sambaza podcast. But just want to let you know, my official name is Stephen Bati. Now, by the last name, you know that I'm an immigrant. I'm from the diaspora, so that's where the basis of my podcast is coming from. I'm from Kenya, originally from Kenya. Met some Kenyans here today. Actually, I met one Kenyan who seems to have traveled from the most traveled. She actually came from Kenya yesterday. Anyway, so me coming from that country, I've lived here for 25 years, and I decided to start a podcast about the diaspora effect. And it's not only because of the diaspora, it's because of the fact that I've been here and I've lived here for 25 years. And I have my wife is from New Orleans, and I have kids, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Now, what's unique about me is I don't belong in these 2 spaces. When I'm here, I'm not an American. I'm not an American, even though we're told to say we're Americans. And when I go back home, I'm not a Kenyan because apparently they say I speak with an accent. And when I'm here, I still speak with an accent. So I don't understand. But anyway, so it comes to the way my podcast is arranged. We talk about things that happen here, and I'll interview an African American, and I'll interview someone who's immigrated from another country, and then I'll also talk to somebody who's out of the country in Europe or anywhere, and then we'll go to Africa, and I'll finish off with Kenya. Now the reason is I'll tell you about a series we did about child discipline. We all have been disciplined. We all come from different families. But there seems to be a similarity. We need order, and there's that, even though we were being disciplined, it came from a place of love. There's a fear that was being brought out. There's something that we were fearing for our kids, that we wanted them to be disciplined in a certain way, yet we were teaching them to be responsible adults. Now, that's one of the few podcasts that I've done so far, and I want to say it's been nice, and I stress on the black community because I feel like y'all have accepted me. I mean, y'all gave me a wife, so and I'm happy. 15 years, and I'm happy for that. So with that, I'd like to congregate with you guys. I should not use that word, you guys. I'd like to congregate with you, my brothers and my sisters. And also, I am an ambassador for Afros and Audio. And like, again, another community that accepted me. I speak over there twice. This is the 3rd time I spoke there 3 times. And I'm inviting you all. If you are anywhere in the US, just take your time and go over there, and especially if you're around the DC area and you can travel like maybe 15 minutes, hey, please, just congregate. Let's make it, we break bread together. The more we make it over there, the more we stand a chance of being noticed and getting more sponsorships, and also learn about each other. Because if we live here and we all talk to each one's podcast, we'll exchange a lot of information, and then our viewership will increase, and then that will amount to dollars and cents. And that's all what we ask for from the Afrozen audience. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Alyssa,
And I'm Jay.
and our podcast is called Truth and Shade.
Yes.
So it's basically we just kind of it's really like we always say it's the conversation with the besties y'all never knew y'all needed, because it's always we kind of sprinkle like a little celebrity. We're gonna do some current events, but then we also speak to like issues and things that concern our community. You know, like let's see yourself first.
We talked about being authentic, being a black face in a white workspace. We talk about gay issues. We talk about toxic masculinity.
Church hurt.
Church hurt. We have a very wide, broad topics we talk about. So you'll find an episode that you'll like. Like not one episode is the same.
And then like when our new season comes, we want to zero in more on like issues that actually do affect our community, like specifically like mama trauma, daddy issues, colorism, going to the shop, think about your hair, visions of like beauty, like all just different types of stuff, which is stuff that's really important to us. And it's a fun time while we're talking about it, even if some of the subject matter is a little heavier. We still kind of keep it like, hey, something to think about, y'all need to know, like that's good energy. We all
And we're from Detroit.
oh yeah, from the D.
Hey, what up, dog?
Hey, what up? Okay, come on.
We ain't doing none of that.
Don't be mad, because we about to win the Super Bowl, you know, all that things.
Lies and deceit.
It's happening.
We're about to see y'all.
Nah, we hold on. We gonna go back this way.
waiting.
I'm going ahead. I got this. I got this.
They were waiting.
I got it. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
so sorry, y'all. So what are we doing? Just introduction?
Yeah.
Melinda Colon. My husband's Puerto Rican. That's why the last name. Melinda Colon. I'm a growth strategist, business growth strategist. My podcast is Legacy Builders Unleashed: How to Grow and Scale a Business and Leave Something for Your Own. And I specialize in helping businesses win government contracts.
Your dream, yes. My dream podcast, yes.
That's not
Michelle Obama.
Ooh,
Can we make it either dead or alive? Dead or alive. Dead or alive.
dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so I'm Christian, like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Solomon. Solomon. I want to be like, how did you? King Solomon. Oh. I want to know how he got into flow, how he stayed in flow, and what did he do to get out of flow?
Yeah.
Because it was related to, you know, if you ever read Proverbs, it was related to a woman. So something was there, and if we know what that seed is, then we can avoid it and really build the businesses, build the lives, build the generations that we want, so we can avoid it. You know what I mean? It's like when you were a kid and your mom said, "Don't touch the hot stove," right? You know, she'd slap you, beat you up, to be like, "Oh my God." If we knew not to touch the hot stove, we would avoid it. So what is the thing to avoid so we can have the life that we've always desired? What is the limitation? Because we don't, it like slivers in, right? It doesn't come in like this big tree. It's a very small seed, and it grows and grows and grows, and we ignore it because we've seen it grow. You know, it's like getting out of your comfort zone. So that would be the ideal podcast guest, and that's the question I'd ask him: is how did you get out of flow, and what took you out of flow, so I can avoid that.
All right.
And I love you to on my heart, but what she just said was about growth. Like, that's so made it for our podcast. Like, because you're watching those podcast numbers every day, you're like, only 2 more people. No, that's growth. And just because you see it rising does not mean it's not growth for you in your podcast. That was a lady, that was a gem.
That was-
Okay. I wish I had a sound effect box.
You need that gem.
We didn't do our dream guests. We have individual ones. Mine is kind of controversial, but mine would be Candace Owens.
Okay.
Only because I want to have a discourse with her, and I really want to sit one-on-one with her and like talk about some things, because I feel like she do a good job of talking to people that really don't know or are informed of what she's talking about. So she's good at seeming like she's more intelligent than she probably is on certain subjects, and she can't do that with me. So it's like I really want to sit in front of her and just like let's really have a real conversation.
Okay. Mine, it would be Issa Rae. Just because I feel like she's one of those people, like, I mean, if you've seen her, watch her journey from awkward black girl to insecure to like what she's doing now, it's just like, I've never identified more with somebody that's like, she is me is she. Like, and it's one part at the last season of Insecure when she says like, the only person who didn't believe was me. And like, so that really hit me, like one of those things where it's just like, I would just want to pick her mind about moving from that space of like, can I do this? I don't know. Is it for me? It's too many. But to just being like, no, I'm in here. I'm doing this. And we got something to say and y'all go hear it. So listen up. So, yeah.
Hello, that's a lot to follow. So I stand up so you can see me. I'm Ty, known as Coach Ty. My podcast is called Tiny Steps, Big Moves. When I was a kid, they used to call me Tiny, imagine that. And so what we do is we talk to, as a host, I talk to women who have career pivoted. And so I asked them, you know, what motivated you to make the change? What are the lessons that you learned along the way? And for the last season we did, what is your finance story? Talk to me about your money story, because I don't think we talk about that a lot. And then also if they have a faith story, I asked them, tell me your faith journey and how did that impact the chances that you made, the chances that you took, some of the things that you, the reason why you actually pivoted. So that's why we started that. I also started it because I'm a Gen Xer. And I also feel like we're not represented enough in the space, and also not as a brown woman in the space. And so, I have a niece, she's 21, and I want her to be able to look at all of you and say, hey, there's somebody that I can connect to, but that also there's somewhere I can look and say, hey, I can aspire to be that, or just give her options. I like to give the young folks options. They need to be able to see us in all various. So my niece is kind of the one that kind of pushed me to the whole website, you know, podcasting and in this space. And so I talk to women in business. I talk to women for real estate. That's my jam. So you want to talk real estate with me, we can talk. Real estate investing, and then also women who have done just kind of untraditional things. Like I'm gonna do slow traveling and do other things as well. So I kind of like that. And so that's what we do, Tiny Steps, Big Moves. I have a website, Coach Ty Inspires, where I do development coaching and all that. And then also we just started a Facebook group called We Reign, and it's the We Reign community. That's women, business, and faith. And so you're welcome to join that. That's a public site. So happy to be here. First Podfest, Women Podcast Movement, and I'm a big fan of Afros and Autos. And so it's a great space. Gives you a lot of people will love on you immediately, but they also give you confidence to keep doing what you're doing or start something new if you need to do that.
And your dream podcast guest?
My dream podcast guest is Michelle Obama.
So many new people have entered the room since we started. So welcome. Again, completely unofficial, but we're gonna go through intros. So we need your podcast name, where you're from, and your dream guest. If you have a session that you want to get to and you want to sneak out, please wave at me and I will popcorn to you next. Because there's a lot of us in this room. I was gonna say something, but it'll come to me. Oh, we're gonna get through the people that's been in the room the longest, so even if it's like coming this way, we're gonna get through the people who've been here the longest and then circle back. So, welcome y'all.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Sese Zai Peresu, but you can call me Sese. Yes, Sese, not Sisi or Sisa. I've gotten Sisa before and I was like, that's not me. But yes, I was born and raised in a small country called Zimbabwe in Southern Africa, but I currently reside in Boston, Massachusetts. Nobody from there? No? No? Okay, there we go. not as popular as Texas, but you know. So I host a podcast called Beholding Podcast, and it is a faith-based podcast. It is about beholding Jesus to become more like him. My podcast was birthed out of an encounter with God that I had last year, actually. I was doing another podcast called Sese Said It, which is kind of catchy, but that was more just like a lifestyle podcast. And after having that encounter with God, I decided to pivot and focus more on my faith and have that at the forefront so that when people interact with me, they know what I'm about. And I don't know about any of y'all in here, but I was born and raised in a Christian household. And when you go through that your whole entire life, there are ebbs and flows, there are highs and lows. And there may be seasons where you plateau. There may be seasons where you're not as close to God as you should be. And so when I had this encounter with God, he basically woke me up and he said, hey girl, you've been complacent for too long. I have purpose for you. I have given you a voice and I need you to use it. And so I woke up, I said, okay, let's go. Where do you need me to go? What do you want me to say? And he said to me, I know you have great ideas, crazy ideas, but for now, let's keep it simple. Point people to Jesus. And I'll do the rest. So that's what I'm about. That's my podcast. And I hope you guys check it out if you get a chance.
And your guest?
My dream guest would be Jackie Hill Perry.
Oh,
Yeah. That's my girl. She doesn't know it, but she does.
I don't know, y'all stood up together, so I thought y'all was together.
Okay, all right. Fluffy is on trial. Got it. Sorry. All right. So hello everybody. My name is Cyan. Family calls me Fluff, short for Fluffy Ninja. So feel free. I'm here for you. My podcast is called Shadow Corner. It's where I, as a shadow life coach, I help you deconstruct and reconstruct how you think about your situation and yourself to bring your authentic self to the forefront. I also have another podcast called Pixel Sisters Afro Gaming Podcast. It's to bring more color into the gaming spirit. There's some of us, but there's not enough of us. They only see us in anime, just not in gaming like that. So my main podcast, which is my baby Shadow Corner, it's based off of the experiences I've had as a kid with church and church trauma, as well as like the loss of my father, the loss of my aunt recently in 2020 from lung cancer. I'm also part of a nonprofit organization called Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer by Tim Sohn. The reason for my podcast was because there was at one point I had a low point where I didn't want to be here. So I had to use my voice somehow, some way. And when I did that, it gave me a second chance to be able to speak my truth without being silenced. So hopefully you give a chance to listen to it and hear me out. My first season's about me. The second season, I'm trying to bring on guests to tell me about their story as well as like their experiences, whether it be good, bad, or in between. I am from Columbia, South Carolina. I know there's not many of us here.
South Carolina.
Okay, I just need to make sure. Last year was nice. They all came from Charleston. I had to make sure that I was here. Okay, and my dream guest, I would say if I had one, I would say it would be Fred Hammond or Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Fred Hammond because my mom paid it on repeat. And we have come to Jesus moment. Steve Harvey because, again, my father passed early in 2005. So I didn't have a father figure. So when I heard Steve Harvey and he was giving all the advice about what a young woman should be, what she shouldn't be, all that stuff, he, like, in some ways, if he officially knows or unofficially knows, he has helped nurture my growth. So I would like to sit down and have a conversation with him. But that's all I got.
Next up.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tevin, aka Tevin El Chapo. Friends call me Chop. I have a podcast called Chopper Logic, where pretty much I, a videographer for the last 12 years or so, editor as well. We bring on a various amount of people from just various creative fields. It could be fellow podcasters like yourselves. We bring them on for a quick interview, and then we also do trivia. So for the trivia, We do cash prizes. So if you get the questions right, you get the cash prize. If you get it wrong, we give it to the audience. And it's 100% sponsored by my business, Chop House Media Group, where we pretty much coined the phrase podcast in a box. We facilitate anything and everything you need for your podcast production, shooting, editing, audio mixing and mastering, social media clips, branding, marketing, assistance, strategy, everything you can think of, we'll help you with. So if you need any help, let me know. I gotta go to one of the other meetups. That's really all I got. If you also want to be a guest on the podcast, you can do that too. Just let me know. So, and also, if you just want to check the podcast out, just check out Chop House Media Group on YouTube. That's where the podcast is being hosted, again, sponsored by me. And that's all I got. It's so dope to see so many Black creators in one room, first and foremost. You know, in a space where there's a lot of others taking over the space in so many different ways. It's just a great opportunity for us to network with each other. Great opportunity for us to see each other in person and know that it's real. So just know that it's real, no matter wherever you at, whether you're small, large, anywhere in between, just keep going. Just for our sake. If anything else.
Your dream guest.
Dream guest? I'm from East Atlanta, Gucci, always. All right, y'all, like I said, if y'all need me, come find me. God bless. I'll see y'all soon.
We're gonna put a picture time in the meetup group for maybe tomorrow. So a big group picture of Black people. I'll put it in the app. We're gonna pop back over here, and then here, and then again, some of my older people over here that's not old in age, but people that's been here for a while. And then the new people that just come in and fall in place. I got somebody looking for us, so I'm gonna. It's on you, say thank you. All right.
Hi, my name is Erica. I have a podcast called Take 30. So the goal of my podcast is to really break the stigma amongst mental health. So I actually had a very low point in 2022 where I actually did not want to be here. And I reached a really dark spot, and my podcast has allowed me to open up, talk about my own personal struggles, and really get the message out there. I've interviewed multiple people, podcasters, coaches, therapists, and the goal really is to build community amongst each other and start having those conversations. So my podcast is available on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And as far as my dream guest, there's so many. I have a list. One would definitely be Michelle Obama. Another one would be Mel Robbins. I'm sure you guys are familiar with her. I love Mel Robbins. She's very inspirational. She has a book that just came out called The Leptin Theory. So yeah. You can find me on all streaming platforms. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, you can reach out to me on Instagram, on the Hoova app. Yeah.
How everybody doing? My name is Charles, and we are part of the GoCast podcast. It's not too deep. We enjoy basketball, so we talk basketball, NBA, WNBA, whatever. We talk basketball, and we let the world know how to join come on the this GO. side. He's a LeBron fan, but, and who's your dream guest?
Of course, my dream guest is LeBron. I'm Nigel. I go by Big Nigel on the channel. But yeah, we just kind of give two different perspectives of like just basketball, whatever is trending in the NBA. He's the old head and I'm the young guy.
Love it.
My dream guest is Michael Jordan.
You three.
Oh.
No, you go.
Me? Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Sherry. So I have two. My first one, Alleged Actually Podcast. It's a YouTube channel, and I do reality TV recap and pop culture segments. You know what I'm saying? Right. I love a good collab too, y'all. So hit me up.
like I said over there, it started off as a mother-daughter podcast, but my daughter is 28 and not focused, life, and so she's on sometimes, but I've been doing that one for about a year. I do interviews as well, and so for that space, I decided to start a new one, which I just launched in December, Perspectives with Sherry, and that is for women over 40. So over there, we do health, wealth, empowerment, and all things that feed that. So, and I'm from North Carolina.
Hey.
Yes. And Dream, yes. So for alleged, actually, I would love to have Nene Leakes on.
Hey.
And then also Oprah Winfrey on Perspectives for Share. So yeah, thank y'all.
Me? Hi everyone, good to be here. My name is Dominique Bradford. I'm from Guyana, but I live in Canada. The name of my podcast is Born to Achieve Greatness, and it was derived by my business partner Warren Andrew Pindle, who wrote a book called Achieve Men during the pandemic. And for me personally, at one point in the pandemic, I felt as if, okay, the world is going to end now, so there's nothing to live for, or there's nothing more to do in life. But then I lived through it, so I wonder how many other persons were feeling like me, as though there's no hope. So I started a podcast, Born to Achieve Greatness, because we survive it. We live for a reason, and the mere fact that we're still here, so there's greatness inside of all of us. So let us work hard, let us keep persevering and pushing through. And no matter, it's like finding that person that feeling hopeless and giving them something to live for. So that is the main thing for my podcast. And one person I would like to meet would be Lisa Nichols. She's been a great inspiration, listening to her story, listening to the things that she was told from a child, but not allowing that to define her and rise above her circumstances and situation. So that's what I am. And I'm saying to everyone, we all are born to achieve greatness.
Yes.
Oh, me?
Oh.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Adrienne Vale. I'm actually from Colorado, which I know who else is from, because I would know who you are if you're black. But I live now in Florida. So I started off with video. So I was on LinkedIn doing videos to help women of color get into consulting. That my YouTube channel was Consulting Her Way. Did some coaching in it, realized it's something I totally do for my job, but I hate teaching other people to do it. So I went back to the drawing board and went more towards finance. So now my new YouTube channel is called Her Financial Health, where I help single women of color millennials gain financial independence and support. Thank you. All my stuff is solo, so I don't really have an ideal guest that I would like to have on my show. But I could tell you what would be my ideal podcast host that I would like to be on, and that would be either the Budgetnista, I'd like to be on her show, and as well as Financial Feminist.
Two good ones.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keith Terry. I'm from Chicago. The name of my podcast is called The Next Big Thing with Keith D. Terry. I put the D part in there because there's a whole bunch of The Next Big Thing. The mission of my podcast is to tell the stories of successful entrepreneurs, change agents in the community, organizations. I started this right after I sold my company, and I just wanted to shine the light on those folks in the community that are doing some really good things but are not getting the attention. I'm happy to say that I started rough, but I just launched my 32nd episode 2 weeks ago, and I got to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It's good to see all of y'all in here, because one of the things I want to know, well, I won't deviate, I'll just stay on track because there's a lot of us in here. Happy to be here. The Next Big Thing with Keith Terry. I want to learn, I want to teach. Whatever I got is yours, and I'm going to ask a whole bunch of questions of you all. My guest that I would love, one is my grandfather, who I never met. Deep man, preacher from Mississippi. They got 1,000 acres down there. He's doing well. He kept his family together, raised some good boys, but I never met him. And then John Hope Bryant.
Sorry, I don't remember who else has been here a while.
Yeah, we're going this way. This is what we doing.
Hello. Sounds good. Sounds good. My name is Kiona Nessenbaum, and I am the host of the Birth as We Know It podcast. And my podcast is solely dedicated to recognizing the many different ways that birth unfolds. And so I interview birthing people, partners, providers, birth workers, and more. And I even had the chance to interview my daughter because she caught her younger sister, so that was fun. She was 9 years old at the time of that interview, and she is now 11, and she's like, ugh, why'd I do that? But, you know, preteen years. Okay, ideal guest. My ideal guest would be Elaine Walteroth, who is the owner and founder of Birth Fund. She is totally dedicated to getting people who want midwives to have midwives, and she's doing great work, great work. So yeah, did I do everything? Seattle, Washington is where I'm from. Yeah, that's me.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Patrina Dixon. I'm born and raised in Connecticut, but I am now Floridian. In March, it'll be 1 year that I'm in Florida. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. The name of my show is The Money Exchange. If you want to find out where it is, here you go. My show is about money and entrepreneurship. I am a finance coach, so that's what I talk about. I also talk about grants for small business owners. My ideal guest, can I say two? I guess I'll go ahead and say two. So Tyler Perry and then two gentlemen who are podcast hosts, also in the finance space, and they are two men who have a podcast called Earn Your Leisure. So those would be great guests. One, because they're doing some amazing things in the financial space, and they have met some people that I want to meet. So I figured meet them, and then maybe I could get connected to the others. So Patrina Dixon, The Money Exchange, on audio platforms, on YouTube, it's My Money with Patrina Dixon, which is also my trademark brand. So thank you very much.
Real quick, how many people is this your first time at podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, how many is this your second time? Yay. All right, third. Fourth. How many? Four. How many? Three. How many did? Four. Okay. Have y'all ever been around this many black podcasts at one time? No. Yes. I mean, besides
We did go to the iHeartRadio.
There you go. iHeartRadio.
So from there.
I have no clue. All right, this is where we going. Boom. Here we go.
Very aggressive.
So I'm gonna go here and then back around if you have not went yet. You gotta go up.
No, I'm saying we are on this. Yeah. How about this? If no. How about this? If you said something, go that way. If you didn't, come this way. How about that? If you've been on camera, go that way. If you introduce yourself, go that way. If you didn't, this way.
Okay, there we go.
Because this bouncing around is making me dizzy. And then what we gonna do? We're gonna go straight down this line right here.
All right.
Oh, okay, y'all might not know what we're doing. We're doing your name, where you're from, your podcast, what it's about, and your dream podcast guest. Because you never know who Tyler Perry cousin on Lexi side might be in this room. So
All right, hey everybody. My name is Tasha Simon, and I host and produce and the CEO of Gratefully You. I have a consulting firm, and my podcast is a big part of that. So Gratefully You is all about standing in your greatness, being fully you in all things. So I look at professional experience, personal experience, and spiritual experience, and I combine it. Because so often we find ourselves segmenting ourselves and showing up one way in one area and another, but it's important that we stand in our fullness in all things that we do.
So, yeah, that's what I do. I have an autistic son, so that's a big part of it too, who's nonverbal. So it's important to be able to speak your voice and be able to hear beyond words. So I bring that all into one community. And so, yeah, it's my first year. I left corporate America to do this. So, yeah.
Your guest?
Yes, favorite guest. Let's see. Probably Michelle Obama, because I think she's amazing. I'm from Chicago originally, but am based in Phoenix now, Arizona. That's it. Thanks, y'all. Gratefully You. Check it out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lola Shraver Harris. This is my first time at podcast, Podfest. I just started podcasting in August, and the name of my podcast is called the Kadara Woman Podcast. Kadara means destiny in Yoruba, which is a Nigerian language, which is where I'm from originally, but I do live in Houston, Texas. And the whole mission of this podcast is really to amplify the overlooked success stories of African women who have felt that they're living in their destiny, their calling, and also to change the narrative of the continent one story at a time. So ideal guests are all African women. One of them is Chiamanda Adichie, who's a renowned Nigerian author, and then Bajanista is also on my list actually, and then a whole list of them. So, and then what else did you need? That's it, right?
Yeah, sound about right.
This is both of us.
Right, okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's one second. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
Y'all about to start rapping, ain't y'all?
So, all right, so we're with the Talk Game Podcast, and I'm GQ, and this is T.
And we're the Relationship Battle Twins.
And so we help with all your relationship needs. We don't just talk about the issues. We discuss what your particular problem is or where you are in your journey, and then we help you from there. So
Yeah, so you can catch us on all social media platforms at the Relationship Battle Twins. We're on wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Okay, we're everywhere basically now.
right, we do RBT Consulting, which is basically how we help people along their way, and our podcast is tied into that. The podcast in particular, though, is if you write in your story, we give you a free consultation. We help you on whatever problem that you wrote us in on, and then we can take you further if you want to go. If not, that's fine. Stories are done anonymously, so you don't even have to be attached to it. We just read them on the air, and we fix them on the air right then and there.
Yeah, and we just started a matchmaking service, so if you're looking, y'all hit me up.
Right. And then our ideal guest, honestly, our ideal guest is, for me, any man who is looking to make sure that his life and his woman coincide with one each other, and they keep going and keep that forever. So, and I think on your side, the best ideal guest. No. Okay, so another one as far as the female side is anyone looking to get married, trying to figure out this dating pool, because we hear so often that women say the dating pool is right, just like you just heard that. So we help you navigate that issue. So
I also have a girlfriend service. If y'all need help, y'all call me.
What the hell does that mean?
So what that means is, let's say you don't want to talk to your friend about your problem that you got going on because you don't want her to judge you because you slept with Buddy last night.
The full truth about the
Yeah, I definitely thought something different when you said that.
So,
Gotcha.
So this might be good.
The
This
total
might be
opposite
good.
of what
Give
you
me
were
an idea.
saying.
Anyway, he thought something else.
Hell no.
Have you patented? Have you made a patent?
Have I what?
Made a patent?
Yes, over the business. The business.
So it's-
No, the girlfriend service.
It's a lot of,
That's
it's a lot of,
within our company.
so
yeah.
it's a lot of people that do a girlfriend service and they definitely ain't talking about what you talking about.
Hey,
That's
Well,
why I asked.
that's the kind of service I offer.
Gotcha.
Other than that, she off limits. All right.
Roger that.
Be clear.
Roger
All
that.
right.
All right, next up, Julie, JR.
Right.
Hey guys, I'm JR. I'm from Atlanta. And so first I'm gonna do a background stuff. My ideal guest would be Future, just because it's controversy. And that's what my podcast. Yeah, but I'm not toxic, that's just my podcast. So when it comes to my podcast, it's called Real Shit Let's Talk Podcast. It's where authenticity meets center stage, where we have real and unfiltered conversations. So we dive deep into, the negative, the toxicity, and everything else, and controversy, different things like that. Here in Florida, first time here at Podfest. What else is there? Man, I like to network with everybody. So make sure that we all tap in and we all follow each other. Let's stay connected, right? So one thing about being togetherness is unity, right? So we all are one unit. So we all got to stay in touch And I feel like my message that I deliver in my podcast is accountability. And so now when we take accountability, I say reach one, teach one. There's things that I don't know that I would love to learn from you guys. And there's things from you guys that I can also take in and hear it and also filter out in my podcast. So like I say, Real Shit, Let's Talk podcast. See?
Good afternoon, my name is Cyril Guerra. I'm a minister and an HR director. I started my podcast out of necessity. I resigned from the church that I served at for 22 years as a youth pastor and as an adult, a young adult pastor. I resigned because of the things that I saw taking place within the church environment. I realized that there were young people, or I should say I realized the church was hemorrhaging young people. And just because somebody isn't necessarily actively attending a church, they still need something that's feeding their spirit. And so I knew that younger people couldn't listen to a 45-minute message. So I deliver 15-minute or less messages that they can pop in on their commute to work, commute to school, walking across campus or what have you. And so it's called the trifling ones. Why is it called the trifling ones? Because it's based off of Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So instead of approaching people, pointing your finger and looking down your nose at them, basically we are trifling. And so we are the trifling ones, and as a result of our relationship and walk with Christ, we can all get to a better place.
Come on, everybody.
Originally from Boston, I'm now in Fort Lauderdale, and say I want to definitely get with you before we leave. That's it, y'all. Thank you.
That's your ideal guest?
Oh, my ideal guest. It's a solo podcast because they're brief sermonic type messages. But really, any young person who has a love for Christ, I want to have a conversation with them and find out where they're at, what they're thinking, what's going on, and what's going to help them in their walk.
Can we talk to Samson from the Bible? Because I want to know what condition he used. Somebody else said they wanted to talk to somebody from the Bible earlier. So yeah, what condition did he use?
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Jessica Holly of Everybody Can't Go Convos. My podcast was born out of the need for the conversation that we don't ever have. When you talk about, like, aside from what everybody else wants you to do or what everybody else telling you need to be doing, when you actually talk about your vision and your dreams, and of course, it's not gonna happen in this room because we go-getters, we dream chasers. But when you start telling the people around you about what you really want to do, how you really want to level up, how you really want to grow, you doing too much. What you think why you so extra? And it's like, am I extra? Like, complacency, that's cool for you, but that's not what I want. And a lot of times when I'm in rooms like this, I ended up hearing story after story after story where people were ending up being abandoned or like pushed out of their friend group. They were made into the villain of somebody else's story. And I had gone through that myself. I was one of those people that it was a big drama blow up thing. And I'm like, I'm the most understanding person ever. Like, what happens? Like, can we talk about this? And it's like, beep, 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 insert expletives. And so as I started to find my different tribes of people, and I've started to find out that I wasn't the only person that was experiencing this, I'm like, oh, you know what? We talk about it, but nobody's talking about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna write the book. And it's gonna be a little controversial. It'll, some feathers are gonna be ruffled, but the truth is the truth. So I was like, okay, well, my story happened one way, and I wanted to help other people from that. And so I do my podcast, some interview style and some just me talking and giving bite-sized lessons and knowledge that you can apply on a daily basis with setting boundaries, making sure that you're setting self-care, making sure that those relationships, when those dynamics start to change, once you get to a certain point, you're allowing other people to treat you that way by not enforcing those boundaries and by continuing to accept that somewhat abusive behavior that is pretty much, in a nutshell, is the result of jealousy. It's the result of the season with that person is over. It's the result of everybody in here probably got somebody, if y'all was still tight like y'all was, you wouldn't have been in this room right now. Or you would have been standing over there with that messed up person and we all would have been like, ugh. And it's not you. Sometimes it's the company you keep keeping you out of the room or the next level that you're supposed to be at. And when you're not in the place that you're supposed to be in, just like we all in here networking and speaking with each other, somebody that you're supposed to touch their life or you're supposed to open a door for them, if you're not in position because you trying to drag all the mess and carry everybody with you, okay, now you're messing up what your purpose was in life. So yeah, that's a little about my podcast. If you would like to share your version of Everybody Can Go, or how you've experienced that, hit me up. I do interviews for the purpose of my story is my story, but this happens in so many different ways. And I would like for people to not just keep these stories in these smaller rooms, but share these things so that our young people can tap in. You go through this at every level of life. So everybody's story in here that it's happened to you before, that does need to be shared. It doesn't have to be a bunch of drama. It could have just been a natural break. But so hit me up if you're interested in sharing your stories. And my ideal podcast person, y'all don't judge me. Okay, so I got two. I got a living one and a dead one. My dead one is Harriet, because when I tell you, Homegirl was like, no, everybody can't go. Like, she meant that junk, okay? So Harriet Tubman, and then for somebody that, as I follow their career, they've done it successfully with keeping the right people in their circle. I would like to interview Brian about his circle of homeboys and the people that he was able to take with him and what those dynamics look like and how they navigated conflict. And I'm from Detroit. I live in the DMV now. So, yeah, that's all. What up now?
Hi everyone, my name is Alice Aiken Wonderland. I'm from Kenya, and yes, I actually just came from Kenya, so this is extremely cold. I just wanted to step in here. I actually have a session to go to because I love seeing us in rooms like this. Hopefully we will be in bigger rooms. Just want to encourage you guys. I'm a marketing and website consultant, so I'm actually here with my company. And if I was to have a podcast, I would love to, see a guest that was like me.
I'm right here. I'm working on it.
Okay. Because a lot of times we don't see ourselves in other people. Right? And growing up as a dark-skinned woman, I never saw myself I was never the desired one and the love interest, right? It was always I was the second thought or whatever. But I want to be able to see myself in me so that my nieces and those coming after can understand that being Black is beautiful regardless of our shade. And that's all I have. All right. If you see me around, say hi.
Oh, me? You sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, we trying to get like she said, a bigger room. We do have somebody that's stopping by, and we need to have our faces in here so he can see it, We need a Black podcast meet up. For real, so if y'all okay, we'll hang out a little bit, he should be here a little bit, so.
Who that?
On the introduction, but I need him to see that, no, we're here, and we need to be a bigger part of this concert, so.
Word.
All right.
Can I go down? Are you done? Boss, you done? Can I go?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. I'm DC. I've been called many things, the Black Israelite, the unconventional podcaster, the anti-podcaster. I'm the host of What the Shit. I didn't start as a podcaster. I just really wanted to talk shit with friends, so I started a man cave podcast, which kind of evolved into me doing interviews, talking to all kind of dope people like y'all, musicians all over the place, from California down to Miami and everywhere in between. You can find us on Twitch right now because that's the only place I just signed to deal with a network, a small network. So moving up a little bit, it's possible you guys can do it because I don't do shit and I still moved up, and I know you guys work way harder than me. So I would say keep doing it like this guy. You guys are beautiful. I enjoy seeing people like this because I don't get out much. I'm from Ohio. So, and my dream will be Kobe. My guess would be Kobe. That's my favorite player, either him or Ray Lewis. So, stay Black. Appreciate y'all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Williams. I'm with Situations Podcast. Situations. It is a dating and relationship podcast. So I have guests on every episode. We talk about, the modern world of dating and are we all fucked in the modern era of dating on the apps? And actually, one of my guests was Elise over here. So shout out to Elise.
Just single, everybody. Just single.
Exactly.
Pray in the Lord's hand.
Exactly. So I've been doing this podcast for about 2 years now, and just love to talk with just guests from different backgrounds. I had people from Love Is Blind come on. I've had comedians, actors, just everybody around the spectrum. So yeah, you know, just trying to continue to like grow that audience, because right now is, you know, we have about like 4,000 monthly listeners, and 20,000 Instagram followers, 5,000 YouTube subscriptions. So just trying to, you know, continue going up, you know. It's just networking, like that's really what it is. What worked for me was just networking via Instagram. So, I mean, you know, use it, powerful tool. From Chicago originally, just, yeah, Chicago, Chi-Town.
Hey, you never would have known it.
And now I live in LA, so yeah, definitely love it over there, and yeah, continuing to just keeping the podcast growing, and yeah, looking forward to networking and working with all of you. It's important to just have people that look like us in this space, because we all have a story to tell. So, you know, like keep on doing you, keep on, you know, keeping on, and yeah, looking forward to saying hi to everybody. Thanks.
All right, beautiful. I am gonna jump to you right after these guys. Okay.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Daryl Warren.
I gotta start.
Oh, you
Yeah.
good?
No, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Daryl Warren. This is my brother, Kevin Warren. We are Sports Chasers Podcast.
Next, Sports Chasers Podcast. We talk about any and everything when it comes to sports. You name it, we talk about it. NBA, MLB, NHL. Yep, NHL. I said it. I got somebody on there to come on there to talk about the NHL. But we do interview styles, and we also have 2 live shows. One on Monday nights, one on Thursday nights at 7:30. So make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bells for all the notifications. And like you said, we talk sports, all sports, and I think my guys right here, they talk NBA. Holla at y'all, man. And
right, Michael.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
That would be my
we old heads. I'm sorry.
That would be my dream guest, MJ. And first of all, shout out to Miss Elise for putting this thing together. I've been calling her Alice the last year, and nobody has corrected me until where my girl at? She corrected me, Miss Elise. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Sports Chasers Podcast. Thank you.
Sorry, I know there's somebody else has to go. But I don't want to take much of his time, but I wanted him to come in and meet everybody. This is Chris Commisser. He founded Pod First. I wanted to make sure he comes and stays.
Appreciate you coming out. Thank you for being part of Podfest, and thank you for organizing the meetup. So, Wally Green does have a ping pong table right behind here. You could pick any tool you want him to use.
He will play with his iPhone 6.
No, he's got like 5 things. I think he has a frying pan too.
Oh my God.
If you beat him, you get a VIP pass for next year. So we're looking at some footage, someone trying to beat him. Usually it's someone that's pretty good. But thank you for coming out. We really appreciate it.
And also he told me, for those of you who are not playing the treasure hunt, there's gift cards to be won.
Oh,
so
yeah,
go play. They want you to take this motherfucking gift cards.
One of the things I was gonna say, yeah, if you visit the booths and just get a couple of initials, we have like automatic gifts that you'll win, like gift cards. So automatically you'll win. You just go to the podcast table. But yes.
He's number 1 on leadership board. Somebody.
Oh, okay.
He's been killing it.
Before you leave, I don't want to speak for everybody in the room, but I hope I'm
Speak
not.
for us, girl.
Speak for us.
Okay. We thank you for having this conference. We thank you for having this conference. Okay. Without this, you would not have brought us all together. We are here and we do appreciate you.
Thank you.
We would love to be a part of the conference in the future for a real Black podcasters track.
Absolutely.
Speak it, baby. Speak it.
We can all come together because we have been able to connect.
You
with
be in
some
charge of
great
that.
Justice.
So all you have to do is reach out to me.
Yeah.
You be in charge of that.
Everything that you see that we built is always a leader stepping up that reaches out to us.
That's it. That's
So
it.
it's a done deal, so reach out to me and we'll do it next year.
We will.
Thank you guys. She's so good with the book.
Sorry, that's okay.
All right.
Ready? You got footage to share? Your footage too?
It's live on YouTube.
I know that means like Megan. That's why I'm still saying. I'm sorry.
There we go. Hold on, I gotta get that. I ain't saying it to nobody. $5 a picture, motherfucker.
All right, well, back to the intro. Those of us that are still here, we were over here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
Let's just make sure everybody gets some intro and one, two, so.
Oh, there we go.
I wasn't just leaving you on.
Oh, I love that.
One second.
No. We just finished. It's this young lady next.
I'm so sorry, but thank y'all for letting me interrupt, but I definitely want to make sure y'all get y'all intro in, because I love learning about it.
All right, hey everybody, I'm Dr. Catrice Austin. I am the host of the Let's Talk Smiles.
There's like 3, 4 more, I promise we almost out here, because it is hot, they gave us a hot one, it's okay, you don't take it.
All right, Dr. Catrice Austin, host of the Let's Talk Smiles podcast. It is a dental consumer podcast where I talk about all things oral health, beautiful smiles, confidence, but I also like to do hot topics, anything that's hot in the news when it comes to teeth, and y'all know teeth have become TMZ-worthy news. So last week I talked about Cardi B said you got to get your BBL first before you get your teeth done. I had comedian Pierre talk about it. Journalist Jackie Reed talk about it. I'm really passionate about being like the Dr. Oz of dentistry, so I want to make it interesting, entertaining, and if you guys are not familiar, I am the dentist that did Cardi B's teeth, so that line got a bag and fixed my teeth. Hope you hoes know it ain't cheap. I inspired that, and we're gonna tear this thing up. I am here to make noise in the dental industry and make dentistry sexy, cool, and fun, and make sure everybody has access to dental care. Give you resources to make it affordable. I have all of that stuff, so that's what I talk about on my podcast. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of you guys and building this community with you. Thank you. Thank
you. I'm Sylvester Wells, co-host of the SIMP podcast. SIMP podcast is geared toward youth, high school, and college sports. We give those kids that don't get a lot of notoriety or attention, we give them a platform. SIMP, turning a negative to a positive. We also enlighten parents and student athletes on the good and the bad of youth sports and high school sports now. With the NIL transfer portal, you got to make sure your kids get in the right hands of somebody that's going to put them in the right position to be successful. And that's what we do. We're a recruiting platform. I help get kids into college. I have a youth organization. I coach semi-pro basketball. I also used to coach high school, middle school, all levels. So I got all that because it started to become too political and kids were being taken advantage of. So I started the SIMP podcast to help those kids and those parents make sure they put their kids in the proper position to be successful in life. My dream guest is not here, but he's a pioneer of this, and it's Stuart Scott.
Oh, yes.
Is that everybody?
No.
Me?
Oh, shit.
Oh, you're not gonna let me speak? Like then.
This beautiful young lady here, and then we got DC.
DC said talk.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Man.
I'll go first. Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, why are you here? I am Paula. I am the host of Talk Show with P. I've been part of the Podfest since 2020. I'm the mayor, well, now the governor. If you need anything, let me know. Talk Show with P is started because of my depression. I'm a depressed bitch. And now it has become a creative, we share creative journeys and mental health struggles. I am a mental health advocate and I'm African, if you didn't know that. I'm from Tanzania. We don't talk about mental health. So it was a way for me to make it a topic. So, yeah, what else are we going to talk?
Your dream podcast guest.
Oh, it's a Ray or Rihanna, baby.
Okay.
Oh, Snoop, let's smoke some weed and talk some shit, baby. It's a Ray, we bring the champagne. Snoop, weed, Rihanna, we got the weed. And we are talking authenticity. I'm all about authenticity, being your true self. And that's why Podfest loves me. I drink too much beer, smoke so much weed, and I love to have fun and talk shit. And I love networking and community building. I might not have the answer for you, but I might know the person to get you the answer, the support, the connection you need. So when I tell you, because I know us folks, we hate asking for help in this, I'm literally telling you, if you need anything, reach out to me. If I can't help you, I know somebody who will, and I'll connect you. I am not a gatekeeper. I open the motherfucking doors. That's why they don't pick me over there. I'm like, I want everybody in the crowd. I don't like chasing people out of the crowd. So if I can help you, I will. Thank you. Welcome to thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But we got two more. So my name is Jessica with a K and an H, and I am.
Okay, wait.
Okay, start over. All right, so my name is Jessica Wells with a K and an H, and I am the host of the Broken to Beautiful podcast. That podcast is a faith-based podcast, but it's centered or geared towards women and us working through the ebbs and flows of life, the unprecedented times, things with Christ at the center of it. And it also outlines my journey and my faith walk with him as well. And my guest would be, I would have to say Fantasia, because she is someone who is winning right now. And she has that beauty to ashes for beauty story. So look, let's do it.
I have to leave real quick, but I'm gonna say one thing. As Chris said, if you have an idea next year you wanna do it, please let us. We open doors for everybody, however crazy it is. And as a mayor, I've been given permission to do whatever the fuck I wanna do as long as it doesn't get them in trouble. So you have an idea, you wanna make it to Podfest next year, talk to me. I will connect you straight to Chris. Even if you're not on the Podfest Facebook group, it's very easy to get in touch. This is a family community. We built it with everybody just giving in. So you might think it's crazy. At Podfest, it's not that crazy. So we want more of you to show up and do your shit.
All right, we're gonna round it off with Raw.
I went already.
Oh, yeah, you went.
No, he was.
All right, and everybody, thank y'all. Watch the Hoover app. If you see somebody black, please pull them in, grab them by the hand, I really want to get a really big picture of all of us if we can. At some point tomorrow, I will try to find a gap in the schedule. But if you go on the community at the bottom and tap community, in the search bar, if you type Black Podcasters, the meetups and everything, our chat will pop up. I hope it's there as well.
I also want to say one thing. So with this OWL app, right, guys? I don't know if y'all been in the expo thing, the OWL app. Listen, download the OWL app, right? I put it in the community, and you get a free $10, right? It connects you with people around the world and the whole USA and even overseas and different things of that nature. But you get a free $10, right? I'm not asking you to buy anything, but you get $10. You keep sharing it with your people, you get $10. But how you build is just by also putting yourself out there in other rooms. Like I said, I personally got to meet the CEO of the OWL app owner. I am a co-host as well on there, and I'll be doing that tomorrow. But at the same time, I was given the ticket to share with the masses. So it's like reach one, teach one. So as you download the app, it's in the community app. I put it there. It's free. It don't hurt, but it keeps you networking across other platforms. And then as well as when you start getting your LinkedIn, different things, and then you keep sharing, and you keep sharing it, it keeps growing. The more that it keeps growing is the more that we keep knowing. So I wanted to pass that on. Download it. It's free. I know if y'all got a lot of apps already, cool, but still download it because it's one way to connect with those like-minded people like yourselves.
And one more thing, if you need any help with your podcast in any capacity, like I said before, that's what I do for a living. Full-time in this business, been doing this for at least 3 years. So anything you can think of, feel free to ask me, or if you just want to be a guest on my podcast, because we don't charge nobody to be on the podcast, and you else would get free money. If you don't like free money, you know what I'm saying, don't talk to me, I get it. If you want to be a guest on the show, definitely reach out to me. If I haven't scanned your badge yet, let me scan it, or you can scan mine. Either way, I just love to connect with us, especially us,